This podcast is recorded on Ngunnawal country. We recognise the Ngunnawal people as the original and rightful custodians of the land and extend our respect to elders past and present. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded.
Welcome to the Wreck Me podcast. I'm Jake.
And I'm AJ. Each week we recommend each other an album based on a theme, and then we decide if it's going to go into our rotation.
This week's theme, we've gone for a live album. When we decided on this theme, I did have one immediate pick. This wasn't it. My brain immediately went to Bring Me the Horizon live at the Royal Albert Hall.
Okay.
Which is just like, in my opinion, one of the best live recordings of all time. But I went and had a look at it, and it goes for like an hour and a half, and I was like, that's a lot. So then I had a look at a couple other things. Like I mentioned last week, I looked at Thornhill and I was like, I've done them recently. There was a Straight from the Path album, and I was like, I've just done them as well. There was a secret third option that I didn't go with, but funnily enough, they've weaseled their way into my pick for next week. So things have worked out well. I've gone with I Heard They Kill Live 2 by Ice Nine Kills, which, to be honest, are a band that I'm not overly into.
Okay.
I can't really sit down and listen to them because it's so theatrical, but because it's so theatrical, it really lends itself to a live performance. And when I've seen them, I've gone, this is awesome to see live.
Right.
So it's a band that I, in any other context, wouldn't have thrown out to you, but I was like, this is an opportunity for me to give you something here that otherwise we would not have explored. And I had to do a quick run through before recommending this. Obviously, this is the second version, and I just had a quick look, and I was like, okay, the few songs of theirs that I know are in this version rather than the prior one. So this is a new experience for me as well. So
wow,
I had to take some notes as well, and
sick.
We'll see how we went.
Well, there's a bunch of questions that you won't be able to answer. Maybe.
Probably not.
Starting out, the first track is Funeral Derangements. Immediately noticing very symphonic.
Yeah.
There's lots of different elements. Just to pick out a few, I noticed like drum line, like marching band, drum. This is just in the first song as well. Like I didn't bother doing this for every single song because I was like, there's no way I'm not going to write every single time but just as they jumped out to me, I was like, ooh, write that down. That's like all of these elements. So I had drum line, they've got synths in there, some strings, some choir, like choir vocals. I don't know if they have a live choir on stage, probably not.
Not when I saw them.
No, but like, I don't know, if they're doing a performance and planning on recording it,
potentially,
maybe they,
I saw them on a very little stage at a festival before they were a decent size, but this is obviously their own sort of recording.
Yeah. There's like bells in there, and then as soon as the bells hit, I was like, oh, there's some horror elements to this. Like, that's like very much evoking graveyard, bats flying across the moon kind of imagery. It's horrorcore.
That is what it is. It's like theater kid metal.
Yeah.
Now they were on my mind to recommend because you had mentioned them or you'd guessed them in A Tower of Music.
Yeah.
But you haven't actually listened to them before. You sort of just heard of them. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
I think I heard you mention. I feel like you mentioned them in A Tower of Music, or we were talking about them or something. Maybe something to do with the Numbers one. I don't know. It was something. They got planted in my mind based on a conversation we were having because they were so close to Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
It's like 3 words, short words. Ice Nine Kills, 9 Inch Nails, like very like punchy, and I imagined that they'd be kind of similar, but very different.
I knew that you'd heard of them, but I didn't think you'd have done.
I don't know if I knew of them before talking to you about it, but very recently in my world. What I really like about it is it's really energetic and it's really engaged. This is music for people with ADHD. They don't sit on one thing for too long. Curated well in that like elements flow between each other. It's all constantly being mixed up, and I noticed this in every song. It's always like jumping from one thing to another. Even if it's consistent and it goes back and forth, it never stays on one element for too long. Listening to the first song, I'm really excited to get into like what is going on. Second track is Worst Vacation. immediately gives me Rob Zombie vibes, and that comes
checks out.
Yeah, it's the horror vibes. But especially at the start of this song, it's the industrial sounding production. It sounds like, you know, chains rattling and clanging in a big empty warehouse. Like that is sampled in the background of the intro, and it's like the atmospheric.
When this song kicked in, I immediately was like, I would have liked this to be the first track.
Right.
Because I was like, this is high energy, this is how we get started. Not that I had any issues with Funeral Derangement starting, but I just felt, boom, we're in. But maybe that was like a nice little just ease in for this to then just come and pop off after that.
Well, and I don't know, because I was paying attention so much to the instrumentals of the first song, I didn't really pick up on the horror, like what franchise, because immediately in this song I'm like, oh, this is like Hostel, right? The franchise that they're singing about here is Hostel. It's like,
I have no idea what that is.
You never saw Hostel? It's like Saw, but there's like a group of like young people backpacking in a, you know, European country, and they stay at a hostel and they get tortured, and it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
And there's it sounds like it's inspired by something like Hostel. They don't outright say this is Hostel, but
there are horror references.
Yes.
The whole thing. Like
yes.
Even when I have seen them, and I'm sure they do this every show, they've always got fits on. So the last one I saw, the singer, I don't know any of their names, was dressed up as Edward Scissorhands, and he had the microphone with these big like long claws, and then there's like a Jason running around the back, and like there's
did it like a little game. I was like, try and figure out what the franchise is before they mention it in the song. Or what stood out to me in Worst Vacation is how descriptive and quite disturbing the lyrics are. Like it's all very visceral and gory, which is good. Like you don't hear much of that. Like that's a horror movie thing, and it's nice to have it like done well.
Yeah.
You know, like it's still lyrically works. They're not just doing it for the sake of being gross and over the top.
No,
like
it's very thematic.
Yeah. Third track is Hip to Be Scared. The transitions between songs, there's people in the audience screaming.
Yeah.
And it sounds...
It fits.
They're like horror, like the final girl screams, right? They're like that classic trope scream. And then I was like, is that people in the crowd, or is that, you know, atmospheric production that they've got going on?
Definitely a bit of both at points. And you can kind of tell when once an actual one in production comes through, it's like, oh, the leveling on that is like so much more obvious than... But you do hear the crowd, which I love.
Yeah, and I really like that. And I can just imagine big fans of Ice Nine Kills, like this is like an inside thing where when you're in the crowd, you do like your best horror movie scream rather than just like fangirly scream. Yeah. You're like, not but yeah, doing like an actual horror movie scream, because that's
especially
cool
if they come out and they're like, we're recording this whole set tonight.
Yeah, people are gonna just die for that. That's crazy. And this is the point I was like, I'm picking up that these almost every song is based on a movie or a franchise in the horror genre. This one is American Psycho.
There's a whole Patrick Bateman.
Just going out for some video. I got to drop off some videotapes or whatever. And then I really liked the crowd work where he's like, do you like Ice Nine Kills? I think their old stuff was a bit seen for me, but like...
When I heard that the first time, I thought that was part of the backing productions. Yeah. And I went through again and I was like, no, he's actually like, that's him. And
he's
just
doing
putting on that
crowd
voice.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's very musical theatre, but for horror kids. Then it kind of like, I got yanked out of it because they talk about how the lead singer of Ice Nine Kills murdered his girlfriend brutally. And I was like, why are you self-inserting yourself as the villain of your like murder fantasy? Like that irked me a little bit. I didn't really like that. To make it so closely connected to you and your real life, like as the lead singer of this band with your full name.
Yeah.
I murdered, like under suspicion for brutally murdering his girlfriend. It's like...
I heard that as well, and I wasn't a huge fan. I was like, we can use the characters.
Yeah. Like, have a character. have a like 100%. And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not his real name. That's his stage name.
It could be.
And that's
they're doing what we're saying they should be
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just, as someone coming, like that was quite stark and took me out of it a bit. Then we've got It Is the End. specifically.
Wonder what that's about.
And I was like, yep, themed. Yeah, because last song I was like, I think that there's a theme to these, isn't it? Yeah, it's themed. This is it. I really like the concept of interpreting the horror movie stories into a song. Looking at the lyrics on... I wasn't looking at the Spotify ones, I was looking at the Genius lyrics. And for a couple of the songs, it actually specifies who is singing what vocals and when they're singing together. Like it has it in like bold italics for whether that's one or the other and then both. The back and forth is really quite impressive. Like it's like a dance, like choreographed really, really well. And the character work that they're doing when putting on voices and blending it with the sampling and all of that stuff, being able to do all of that and still fit so many different elements into the song and change it up from this style of music to that style, and an overall air of like horror.
Yeah.
It's just really well put together.
It's just like it's a full production.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's very engaging. So track number 5, A Grave Mistake. This is where there's a little bit of a slowdown and like in a live set, that makes sense. They've all just gone hard for 4 songs.
Yeah.
And so everyone's taking a little bit of a break, bit of a breather. Again, down to really good curation, keeping that energy consistent. It's really nice to hear this as a live performance because you can tell how tightly tuned of a machine they are as a band. I couldn't figure out what the franchise was here. I feel like they mention The Crow a lot, and I know that there's a movie called The Crow, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. I will say there were 2 songs on this album that I knew going in.
Yeah.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
I think the recorded version I like more.
Okay.
Maybe it's because you don't get the visual theatrics come through, which is a big part of their show.
Right.
But the energy is different. It is a lot more upbeat on the record, but this being that midway point in the set,
it's
they've done it
intentionally
as
slowed
like a
down,
slower down, so it's a bit different to how I am used to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But not to say I didn't enjoy it, but the whole thing is that I appreciate these guys much more seeing them live. Yeah, just in this one instance, I was like, I actually do like the recorded version of that better.
He does like quite a lot of crowd work in this song, and the audience singing parts, and because it's a little bit more stripped back, you can really hear the audience, and that's always so nice to hear. I love hearing an audience singing their lines, and the singer stops, and you can just hear the audience singing in it. I can imagine that if you're a fan of this band, this show was incredible.
Yeah.
Like this would have been once in a lifetime. And then it wasn't that long. It was 2022 they recorded it and released it 2025. So if you were there, let us know. I want to know what it was like. Next track is Ex Mortis. This song gives me Mr. Bungle vibes.
I have no idea what that is either.
It's another carnival metal.
Clown metal?
Yeah. Like it's not quite Insane Clown Posse, but it is like, it's very much inspired by the themes of a carnival. And it's kind of funny that this song gives me more Mr. Bungle vibes than the literal song 2 songs ago that was about a clown. Like this is like creepy carnival vibes.
I think of the songs on this album and in this set, the theatrics come through most on this song, I felt.
Yes, yeah.
Because again, a lot of their show is very visual. For the most part, I was like, man, I really feel like I'm missing out on the visuals. And I even went to YouTube to see if there was an accompanying video for like this show, album, and there's not. But this one, I didn't feel like I was missing anything. It's just like they were really pushing that through to me, and I felt more engaged with this song in particular.
The theme of this one is Evil Dead, which is of the very few horror franchises that I actually like. I don't much like horror movies, but Evil Dead is one of the... It's right up there.
Another one I've never seen. I also don't watch a lot of horror movies just because they tend to be shit. But like the Saw franchise, I love. So anything that's good, like Scream, great, and there's some Scream here and there. Maybe not on this, but some of their stuff.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it was at this point that I realised any of these songs you could expand into a whole stage musical and I would be into it.
Yeah.
Like, then that's what you were saying about this one feels the most theatrical. Like, this one feels like a song out of a musical, about Evil Dead.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's even the overture is like the opening thing, and it's like getting us set up for the story, and like, this is what's going to happen. And then I thought, do they do that? Like, do they have albums that are themed after a single franchise or character or something? Like, are they actually, because they're definitely musical theatre adjacent.
No, adjacent is generous. They're in it. Like,
Yeah. But do they actually write musicals is what I'm
No.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
But not that I'm aware of.
That's what I'm curious.
Not that I've seen.
Stabbing in the Dark. This is Halloween. It's the franchise. It's a game at this point that I'm like trying to figure it out. Just vibing along. I'm having so much fun
There is
listening to this.
in this like an instant, and I don't know how much Breaking Benjamin you've listened to, but I'm sure you know Diary of Jane. No? Oh, there's a riff in this, and I went and listened to the recorded version, and it doesn't sound like as much in that, but in this live version, the opening to Diary of Jane, like
Okay.
it's there, and I was like, oh, that's that.
Because I wrote down the breakdown with the intercut with the screams and like little snippets.
Not that.
Not that bit. No.
Way earlier.
Oh,
But-
okay. I really like that little. I don't know if I mentioned it in the Poppy thing where she like clears her throat.
Yeah.
Like where the music stops and it's like, and like this one is like there's a breakdown. It's like didn't like it's in between. Oh, so good. And I really like the vocals on this track. I don't know what it was about them in particular, but they stood out to me.
Sometimes, and it may have been this track again, I'm not super familiar with the album. For the majority of it, he's putting on that theatrical over-the-top voice. But there are times where he lets his, sort of strips that away and lets it like fully unleash the power of his actual voice without like putting on a character.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did really enjoy those times when that came through.
That and juxtaposed with the demonic growling heavy vocals, it's a really nice combo. Yeah. I think that works really well. Next, we've got the shower scene. What's the franchise?
Scream?
No, it's Psycho.
I don't know. I didn't go this deep into it.
Can't believe you didn't know. That's like the horror movie. It's Alfred Hitchcock, Psycho.
I haven't seen it.
You know that. It's the shower scene.
Yeah. I just thought that was like a generic trope that they were referencing, but
yeah. The intro is like, I don't know if it is actually the Alfred Hitchcock intro, but it's at least an homage to it. And then in the last song, they were like, Michael Myers, you know, Orange Grove Ave, like literal references to the movie, stuff unmistakable. The other song, they say Evil Dead. And then in other songs, it's like vaguely hinted at. And I'm like, I wonder, do they need to get the rights to mention these things? I don't know. With this song, I also noticed that I wouldn't pick the movie based off the style of the song in particular. Like, I think they've done a really good job of like subverting that.
Like outside of the title and the intro,
Yeah.
which are, you've said, again, this is my realm, very overt references.
Yeah.
But they've sort of gone elsewhere with it, I guess, sonically.
Yeah. Yeah. And the interpretation of the source material is very deeply thought out, and they've tried to make it unique and not what you would expect, which I think is really cool.
This, for me, was the one song that, again, I knew 2 songs off this album. This wasn't one of them, but it made me go and listen to the recorded version.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, awesome. Because this was easily a standout for me of the ones that I didn't know. Like I think it's, again, just that idea of him getting out of character for a little bit and really just like belting out those notes for the chorus and then going back into it for the verses. And it's just like, yeah, a nice little juxtaposition, as we've said there.
Yeah, they do that really well. Farewell, is it ill or two? Like 2 eyes, as in I second.
Yeah.
In the lyrics, he says farewell to the flesh, but I thought like ill could be another language, like that means to as well. Like
I'm pretty sure it's Farewell to Flesh, and I imagine they
Yeah.
also probably have a song just called Farewell, and this is the sequel, Farewell to Flesh.
maybe,
But
yeah.
I don't know.
There's so much I have no idea about. The subject of this one is Candyman, which is not something that I've seen or... Is that... I think... Is that the one with Nick Cage? It's like, the bees, not the bees.
I have no idea.
Well, they talk about bees a lot in this
Right.
song, so I think that might be...
This
or is
reminds
that
me
the
of The
Wicker Man?
Simpsons, where the dogs have bees in their mouths. When they bark, they shoot bees at you.
That's so funny. This is another banger. It's really good. It's... They put a little bit of like Flight of the Bumblebee in there, like... and that, I was like, it fits perfectly. I wouldn't have thought to do that. Just well thought out. Track number 10, The American Nightmare. This chorus is sick.
It's my favorite of their songs.
This one I couldn't pick a franchise.
To this one, it seems more like just a nod to
That's
the
what
genre.
Yeah.
And calling it the Silver Scream rather than the Silver Screen. And just talking about like theatre and horror in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like the slasher genre.
Yes.
Is what I feel like it's.
Yeah. Really filthy breakdowns. Like, Then finally we've got Welcome to Horrorwood. It immediately starts off with him being like...
I'm going to go kill my girlfriend.
Yeah, like brutally murdering. I just find it just a really weird self-insert. And yeah, like I was saying, like just have a character do that. But again,
maybe
that might be it. Well, I'll do some research after this. If that's the case, there will be a note that says...
I was wrong.
Sorry,
Iceman killed.
I take it back. Honestly, it would just bump my respect up just that little bit more. This feels like... what's the opposite of an overture? It like wraps up the show well, this track. It feels like a song that a lot of people know, like maybe it's an older one, because it still doesn't really have a theme to it. It's not a specific genre or a specific franchise of horror film or something.
I can't give you any insight in there.
No. Well, that's why I was like, tell me, do you know? Like, no. And yeah, it makes me want to go and find out about the lore of the band and you know, the fan favorites and why do they choose these songs for this set and, you know, that sort of stuff. The standouts for me for this album, Ex Mortis, my favorite from the album. Stabbing in the Dark, nice vocals, that stood out to me, and American Nightmare because of the chorus.
Yes, so and like again in the recorded version, his vocals are a bit less theatrical.
Yeah,
and the like that drum line in the chorus of the really comes through, and it's just like such an upbeat, like bouncy chorus.
Yeah, that's really good. I've really enjoyed this.
I'm glad because this was again like a bit of a risky throw, and it was one that I'm like, honestly, you're probably not gonna be that into this because it's like relatively heavy, but it's not my kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you might be less into it because you're not as interested in the heavy aspects of it, so you're really just going to have like the theatricals to lean on. But again, they're a band that I like a few of their songs, but I won't listen to them a lot while I'm just hanging around. But if they are playing somewhere, I go and I like, because I've seen them and I'm like, I know how good the show is.
That's and I feel like that's pretty much what I wrote down. I'm like, I don't know that this will be a mainstay. This is not like my new favorite band or anything, but I'm definitely, as far as the rotation goes, I'm going to be looking into it more. Studio recordings, investigation pending, whether it's a rotation or not, but there's intrigue. And that's what you say about like the heavy elements. It made those elements more accessible, and not that I'm adverse to heavy music.
You're just not as into it as me is more.
But like this is the kind of thing that
it's very a gateway band that you get like a lot of like teenagers and the girly pops who like really love their horror movies and stuff like that, and then they go, oh, this is like music that
musical theatre nerds and horror movie nerds,
and then oh, this is heavy, and then you hear something else that doesn't have the theatrics, and it's like, oh, but I like the heavy stuff from this, so I can, and then you just end up like derailed, and it
takes you into that world. Yeah, it's great. It's not something that I've ever thought of as a thing that should exist, but I think it's got a perfect place in the scene. Like, it does a really good job of providing a space where people from all different hobbies, I guess, or interests can meet, and it feels like it would be a really welcoming, engaging, high energy, like everyone's there to have a good time interacting with heavy music.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool place to be. That's a really cool thing to be.
Is just something that lends itself so well, obviously, to a live performance, which is why when I was going through everything and I was like, this to me is something that is better live than recorded. So that's why I pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. My pick for you this week was Live at the Grand Olympic Auditorium.
Or as I've been calling it, Rage at the Auditorium. So when I go to search on my Spotify, I just type that. Like, it comes up.
You Rage at the Auditorium.
Such a great way for me to remember it.
Yeah. I'm questioning that. Is it Live at the Grand Olympic
I don't know.
Auditorium?
I've genuinely just
Live
had to look up.
Live at, yeah. Oh, I was typing live from. I chose this because as soon as we decided that we were going to do an episode of a live album, I could not think of anything else. I first was given this album by like fling of my mum's from when I was a teenager, just a guy that she was seeing, and I think he was trying to make a connection, you know, making an effort. Not a bad thing to do. Can't remember his name.
This will keep you busy for an hour and a half.
Well, not in that way, but just like, I'm cool. Don't feel intimidated by me.
Yeah.
You know, like I want you to like me. Kind of. It stuck with me. So
his name didn't, but
no. Well, he didn't last that long. Yeah, it was a burnt CD. He printed out the album cover and cut it out and put it in it. Like really, like kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I think he even stuck like the CD,
the image on.
Yeah.
We
remember doing that?
I have never ever done that in my life. Never ever. So Sony, I know I would never.
Yeah, no. People have only ever given me CDs like that. I would never do it.
Yeah, I do recall there was a very big time where people would burn CDs and they would get those cutouts, and then you could get. Sometimes they'd crinkle up when they would try and put the artwork on the disc, but they did their best.
Yeah, sometimes they got jammed in a CD player. If
they didn't.
If they have to go into the little slot with the brushes. So from a young, like I'd say 13, 14, I've been listening to this album. And like I was saying at the end of last week, it was my first introduction to a lot of Rage songs. Like I knew maybe Killing in the Name Of, which is the biggest one. And this was the first time hearing a lot of these songs. And then when I went back to the recordings, I was like, oh, it doesn't have the energy that I come to expect.
Yeah.
Or the way that he sings it live is slightly different to the way it's recorded. And so this is the definitive version of these songs in my mind.
Sounds like I'm going into this the same way that you went into it.
Okay.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
In knowing Bulls on Parade.
Yeah.
And Killing in the Name Of.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, I was like, so the first track is Bulls on Parade. I'm not that familiar with them. I have never actively listened to them, but I kind of know those two songs.
Yeah.
Before I go into this, I changed my method a little bit this time around because I looked at it, I saw the length of it, and I was like, I don't feel like sitting down for an hour and whatever and listening to this. I'm going to go to the gym because I know what Rage Against the Machine is like, and I know that I can put that on while I'm there.
Yeah.
And just have that sort of soak over me for that hour or so, and then I can come back to it at another time and then do my proper sit down, listen to it. Which
That's
I thought
the patented AJ method of listening.
Because most of the time I can sit there and listen to something and not do anything else. But at this point I was like, and just like for what it is as well, I'm expecting like a high energy thing. And it's like, I may as well, like I'm going to go to the gym. I may as well just put it on while I'm there.
Yeah.
So I did that. It was kind of just background noise for me, which is great. Even when I'm listening to music that I love at the gym, it's just background noise. If it stands out, it's either going to be
distracting.
Really like it's because it's really good, or it's because it's not working for me.
Right.
And I didn't have that, except for in a few instances for each song. Not for each song, for a few songs. But his first run through, it was very much just just integrated well. Nothing felt out of place.
Nice.
So on my second
Note-taking.
run through where I took notes, the start of Bulls on Parade, the instrumental before the song starts, I don't know if that's part of the original song. It is?
Yep.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought so. And I'm like, there's a nice, like, real, like, slow burn into this. It hits, and the pop of the crowd when you come out and play, I don't know, at this time this might not have been their biggest song.
Yeah.
It was, because
Yeah.
because it was like, it's either this or Killing in the Name, and for them to come out and be like, fuck it, we're about to play our best and biggest shit straight away, and people just explode. I was like, hearing that, and again, it was like you were saying how much you loved hearing the crowd in Ice Nine Kills.
Yes.
That for me was huge. Just like hearing the instant reaction to that explosion in those guitar riffs of like their most like profound biggest hit was
It's an
awesome.
iconic moment. Like that is, you can feel
Like the pop is just
the
so
energy of the crowd. Yeah.
and yeah, it's no surprise this is their song of theirs that I knew.
Yeah.
So it was nice to start with something that I did know.
Yeah.
Like a ballsy choice to have like your biggest song first and not save it for the end. The last time I saw Limp Bizkit, they opened with Break Stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck, I thought they'd said that for last.
Yeah.
They played Break Stuff last as well.
Yeah.
They opened and closed with it. And I was like, you know what? I fucking respect
I
that
guess.
so much.
If you're gonna do it, yeah.
I was like, people want to hear that song. You may as well play it
Yeah.
twice. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen on this album. Shocker.
No,
But I thought that was really cool. Then we go to track 2, Bullet in the Head. I really like, for this, all the way at the end, the breakdown. I think that's really cool. Again, just more of what I expected from them. Big, upbeat, high energy. I went for this one and I was like, just wanted to kind of get a gauge of what was different between this and what the record sounded like.
Yeah.
So I sort of just jumped from this and then just queued up the studio version. I really like in the studio version that there's that classic 90s rock distortion on the guitars,
Yeah.
which doesn't come through in the live performance.
Yeah.
In the mix anyway. It may have sounded, you probably were able to hear it if you were there, but they've obviously done their best to make it sound like as tight as possible, and I really just
Yeah. Knowing the studio recorded versions a lot better now, there is some songs that they're missing some element because Zach De La Rocca on vocals, Tom Morello on guitar, and then the other two, bass player and drums. I can't remember their names. And Tom Morello does so much iconic stuff with his guitar, pioneered a lot of techniques, and it's just, so things that they could have layered or done re-recordings or added extra instrumentals in studio
Yeah.
just don't make it to the stage, and there is some elements missing, but
And it was something that I didn't know I was missing until I'd heard it.
yeah,
Which was,
yeah,
it was like, damn, that's like that real like grungy distortion guitar that I really enjoy the vibe of. Then I was like, oh man, I would have liked to have had that here. But track 3, Born of a Broken Man. Mm-hmm. This, I think of all of the songs, for some reason, was the one that I was able to sort of visualize the set with the most. Like, I feel like this was super high energy. Again, you can hear the crowd going ape shit, like at the breakdown. But before you get to that, he has that like slow down spoken word kind of bit, which he is kind of his style anyway. It's that hardcore, like in between singing and rapping effectively. But there are parts of this where he does that. But there are parts of this song where he does it a bit softer. By the end of this album, it's a lot of the same. And having those little like breaks in between where it's just like switched up is really nice. Killing in the Name, at this point, I'm like, cool, this is the other song that I'm familiar with. It's weird for me hearing Killing in the Name now because your experience with it and the experience with it upon release is almost a complete 180 to how that song is used now. It's like anytime I see this song used in something or referenced, it's just like, I'm not going to go and get fucking vaccinated. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. So it's like I hear it and I associate it with pretty much everything that the song was written against.
Yeah.
It's just a very different... The way that it is used and that I've seen it used for the past however long is very funny. Knowing what it's rooted in is people that are just completely misunderstanding that and being like, fuck you, I'm not going to fucking respect you.
But like actively avoiding paying attention to the fact that he repeats over and over again, some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Like there's fucking KKK in the government, in the police, like, and you shouldn't listen to them, like this anti-establishment, anti-government stuff. And it's also, even before like politics in the US was so, just like boiling point, I guess. Like they've always been very anti-establishment. And there's a lot of instances online of people like commenting on Tom Morello's Twitter and thing like, he has been an activist his entire life, all throughout being in the band, never changed his tune. You know, I'm against bigotry, I'm against famine, apartheid, you know, all of this shit. And people being like, oh, can't believe you went woke. Like, yeah, actually, you just got conservative or you never paid attention. You know, like, it's very, like...
Something very similar...
cognitive dissonance.
Happened here not that long ago. I don't think it was Midnight Oil, but it was a very similar band. They were used in like a One Nation ad or something. And
I think it was Midnight Oil.
It might have been. And it was just like, again, the lyrics being interpreted in a ridiculous way. And they're like, hey, don't fucking use our shit. No issues with it. It was just very funny now, again, because I don't actively listen to them, so the only time I see this song pop up is in like these weird like Charlie Kirk is our Lord and Savior edits. And it's like, we are Charlie Kirk. We get to track 5, Calm Like a Bomb, and again I'm feeling like I don't think I can sit here and listen to this because it's not conducive for me to enjoy it. If I sit here and I do nothing and I listen to it, I'm not going to have a good time.
Okay.
So I booted up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and just had this running in the back.
Nice.
And instantly I was like, sick. I'm having a way better time now because it's soundtracking this and it's the vibe. And I can do that in 2-minute sessions. So I go and I'll do a run. And then by the time I finish my run, I'm towards the end of the song and I can write my notes down and I run again. Once I put myself in the environment to listen to this, it was like the gym was a good idea. Me sitting there for a few songs was all right again for the songs that I already knew. Yeah. But for anything fresh,
you need to be occupied. So, yeah. You need your Subway Surfers. I think, is it Calm Like a Bomb? I think is the track over the credits of the first Matrix movie.
I don't know.
It's one of them.
Track 6, Testify, absolute bop. This one is one of the ones that while I was at the gym, my attention was drawn to it. I was like, oh, this is like broken through from this just being like the soundtrack in the background of what I'm doing.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a standout for me.
I think of, the songs that I didn't know, that was like number one. And when I had a little bit of a look, it's not one of their bigger songs by the look of it. And I was like, that surprises me because it's...
off the Battle for Los Angeles? You didn't know.
No, I sort of just went down like their charts and saw where it sat, and I couldn't see it in like the top 20 or so. Stopped me at the gym to have a look at my phone and be like, which one is this? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll remember that.
Mental note for later,
7, Bomb Track, was just kind of background to me. I, again, was sitting there playing my game and I went, fuck, I'm supposed to be doing my thing. So I came back over and I was like, shit. But there was, I think after having Testify come on, this just didn't stand out to me as much.
Fair enough. It's not one of the strongest tracks.
To be honest, this happened for the next few. War Within a Breath, where it's sort of like ducking and diving here.
Yeah.
Above Bomb Track, but below Testify for me. And like, it was like, I was enjoying it in the background and didn't make me tune out, but it also didn't rip in and grab me.
Yeah.
And I'm also 8 tracks in, and I a lot of the same through. Like, not a lot changes for them, like instrumentally or vocally. It's the same sort of like with the same vocal style.
Yeah.
which means that everything's sort of just like running through each other and nothing is sort of like popping out to me, except for like the tracks where it does. So that was pretty much the same for War Within Breath and I'm Housing.
Yeah, I think I'm Housing is a cover of another artist.
Maybe.
I know that definitely Kick Out the Jams is a cover song. They did an album of cover songs, and so I think a couple of the ones in this live set are songs that aren't really...
I just wrote fine background noise, but I'm not enthralled.
Yeah.
It's like, again, like I'm not hating it, but it's just not. Sleep Now in the Fire comes after this. Immediately, I am excited because it starts slower. So there's something a little bit different. And then 20 seconds in, we're back to what we're doing before. It's like, it was nice. I thought it was going to happen. But the last minute and a half where it picks up and they've got like a sort of a breakdown, it's like super high energy and I'm enjoying it. And I'm like, well, fuck, I can't complain now. I was like, they slowed it down. That was nice. But then they ramp it up and it's like my favorite part of the song. And it's like, well, for the fuck, you can't make your mind up. What are you complaining about?
Pick a lane, mate.
The sandwich of the song. You take the middle out. The bread. I like the bread.
Yeah.
A nice little slow start with a high energy end. That was about that. People of the Sun. I loved the duality of the vocals here.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the only time where I really picked up on there being backing vocals.
There's backing vocals.
Or maybe is it him doing it the whole time? I feel like somebody else is doing vocals here when they're going
coming back around again. Yeah. I think, I don't know who it is.
I've literally just written it's coming back around again in quotations because that was the bit.
The reason I hesitated on that is just like, when I think of backing vocals, I'm like, they got the 3 women out in dresses that are all the same and they're doing the...
No. Some bloke is out there going, it's coming back around again. Yeah, I enjoyed that so much. Not just because it was a nice break and like different vocals, but it works so well in that style. It's like that slam hardcore kind of vocal.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll go and listen to the original of that so I can see what that's like. And it's done by the lead singer.
Yeah.
So it's not done by someone else in...
Right. So he's
recording.
recorded 2 separate things and they've put them together.
Whereas obviously vocals are so close together in the track that he's not able to do both. He had to get some help. And I think that was awesome. Just having that little bit of extra in there. Guerrilla Radio. I had this realization as soon as it started at the gym. I was like, I know this fucking song. It's in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or 1. It's like the intro.
It's not 1.
I think it's 2. It's like the opening, like the movie that plays as you're going in, or like in the credits or something at some point. And I was like,
"Lights out, Guerrilla Radio." Yeah.
So I had a great time with that because I was like, holy shit, there's a third song that I know. Yeah. And it was just like, I knew it because I heard it at the gym. So I was playing Tony Hawk when it came on when I was doing my second run through, and I was like, hell yeah,
perfect.
This is what this is for. It's awesome. We are now at Kick Out the Jams, and this was an instant standout to me because of how different it was.
So different, yeah. I do really like Kick Out the Jams.
It being a cover makes sense. I said that it felt more like an 80s rock track than anything else, which it probably is.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't take more than a second or two for me to get that vibe from it, that it was instantly different. And I was like, this is so cool that they've gone and done something completely different, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
And it's like a completely different style. Yeah, I appreciated that. Knowing that it's a cover makes a lot of sense because, again, they have their own very distinct style, and then everything about this was just screaming 80s rock. That's good information. Yeah. Information that I wasn't able to give you one of the Ice Nine Kills because I am not as across them. But Know Your Enemy, great opening riff, but so similar to Guerrilla Radio.
Yeah.
And I was just like torn because I'm like, that was an absolute bop when it came on, but I'm sick of it being the same coming through. But that riff is so groovy, so I'm just there like... I do think I prefer Know Your Enemy by Green Day to this. That's a bop.
Fair enough.
No Shelter. This is the first song where I actually kind of found myself locked in lyrically.
Yep.
Like everything else, I was sort of just like vibe 90s. Like I don't know, what are they even, like a alt hardcore rock? I don't know what you would classify them as, but it's very.
I think that they often get classified as nu metal.
Yeah.
I think that's down to Zach De La Rocca being a bit more of a rap vocalist than melodic vocalist.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never thought that they fit specifically into any genre. I think that they're very unique. Every album they've done has added some element that's very unique to them. Like what you're saying about hardcore vocals, and when we did
Straight from the Path,
the fact that there is a lot of I saw a lot of Rage Against the Machine in that. I was like, okay, well, they're probably the one hardcore band that I know really well, right? And I've never explored anything more in it, and that's why it feels so unique to me. But even still, like, it's a perfect storm of elements that makes them so iconic, and why they were so successful, and why they stood out, and fucking rednecks who don't give a shit about the Mexican Revolution or anything that they sing about in almost every single song are like, bleh.
Yeah, and like for the most part, I was trying to focus a lot more on, because we're doing a live album. I'm not trying to do just like the intricate workings of the songs. I want to do how it feels as a performance rather than the songs themselves. But this one, the line, the front line is everywhere so often. And I used to be like this when I was like 15 or whatever. It's just like, I'm not into politics. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It's like whoever's in it. It's just like the front line is everywhere means it's like it applies to you. Even if you don't think it applies to you. And if it doesn't feel like it applies to you, that's fucking awesome for you. Like, you were in a great position.
Yeah, that's your privilege, and good job. Like, well done. But some people have to fucking fight their entire lives.
Just because your vote isn't, like, you're not in a shitty position doesn't mean that you can't be like, oh, this person is bad for this. We can do this to improve another person's situation. Yeah. And I just think they did a really clever job. That was, the one line that stood out, but it's called No Shelter. It's basically just like, no matter where you are positioned, this is affecting you in some way, whether you recognize it or not. Then we have the last track, Freedom. I really liked, but not until the 5 or 6 minute mark. The rest of it kind of just like sort of floated on through, and then they really just like rock out and nut it out for like the last 30 seconds or so. I don't know. I feel like they could have had, like, it was a really high energy closer, but it took a while to build up to that. And I don't know where, again, this sits in their discography in terms of popularity. Maybe it's right up there and it was something that like fits there.
I think this was also, I don't know if it was the second or third Matrix film, but it's the
it's the Matrix loves that.
It's the closing, because it's like, that's the theme of the Matrix, is like Rage Against the Machine.
That's so funny. I had no idea.
Have you seen the Matrix?
I've seen all of the Matrix movies, even the very, very shitty third one. I think there are 3. Not that there's a 4th one now. They made like. I haven't seen the new one.
I haven't seen that one. That one does not seem like canon to me. I don't count it.
We used to sit in the uni dorm and regularly watch The Matrix, and because the scene where like Agent Smith or Neo's fighting like 50 Agent Smiths is so funny.
Man, time for a rewatch, I think, actually.
But they, at the end of this, and I don't know if it's just because the recording cut off there, but there's something so fucking unapologetic that I love about a band that just walks off stage and they're not like, oh, thank you so much. Hot Mulligan, I don't think it was the last time I saw them, but maybe the time before. They finished their last song and then he just goes, thanks, and just drops the microphone and walks off. And it's just like, I respect that so much. Like, I also don't have an issue with you being like, oh, thank you guys so much for coming. Like, I appreciate that, but it's cool as fuck for you to just be like,
and it's also like, it matches the tone. Like, I'm here saying my piece and I got nothing more to say.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, and I appreciated that. Like, I just think that's a really cool way to end a set. I am a massive massive encore hater. Don't fuck around and be like, this is our last song, and then you're going to walk off stage.
Yeah, performative.
And you haven't played your 3 biggest hits.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you're fucking coming back out.
Yeah.
I've got to get home. I have work in the morning. You've wasted 15 minutes of my time. Like, yeah, appreciate a band that comes out, plays everything they're going to play, and doesn't pretend like... There may have been a space... Like, I just don't know. I'm sure there's some really cool musical place that originated from. Maybe back in the day, someone had genuinely finished their set, and the crowd would be like, "Yeah, come on, give us one more."
That's what encore means. Encore means more. So, like, an encore used to be the crowd was unsatisfied. They're like, it's like one more song, one more song. And even in my lifetime, like, there's been times when I didn't expect an encore and was genuinely surprised and thrilled when the band came out and played an encore and played deep cuts, not the hits
like,
that everyone
you
came to
haven't
see.
played your top 3 songs. I know that you're not finished.
Yes,
right?
yeah, and it's like, you know that this crowd in particular is there because they genuinely love your music.
Yeah,
They want to hear the deep cuts. They want to hear the like obscure shit. You know, they'll appreciate that. That's why you come out. I remember going to see Porcupine Tree.
yeah.
When they came for the one and only time I think that they've been to Australia in my lifetime. It was at Enmore Theatre in Sydney.
Favorite venue. God, I love it there.
And it was before the floor collapsed. And it was like...
I was there like a year or so before that, and part of the roof fell off and hit someone in the head.
Yeah, it was unstable for a long time. The crowd was mostly 45-year-olds smoking weed. They just released an album. It's very like progressive compared to the rest of what they released. And I was just hoping that they'll play my favorite song, Trains. I was like, I really hope they play Trains. That would be really cool. Got through the set, quite a long set. They played through most of the new album and played a few songs off the most recent albums. 1 or 2 really deep cuts from their 80s stuff.
And some hits.
And, well, they don't really have hits. Like, the thing is, like, if you're there, everything is a deep cut. And then they finished and everyone was like, no, and the lights came up and everyone was like, no, play, come back. Like, the crowd started, and then the lights went down and they, like, so obviously they didn't plan to.
Or maybe they've got you bamboozled.
Well, maybe, but to me, as an audience member...
It felt like an authentic
encore. Felt like we called them back,
yeah.
Right? And that's another thing. If you're going to do it, at least make it believable.
One time that I can think of it was done well was Ghost, who I don't know if you've listened to them.
Not really.
They're also another very theatrical band.
Yeah.
So they made like a joke out of it. Massive arrangement of like 20 people on stage.
Yeah.
They all go back. They're all done. The one guy comes out afterwards and he's like, oh boy, you guys are still here? Oh. It's just like, if you're going to do it, be unserious about it. Don't pretend like you're finished. This is like, it's part of the act here. Yeah. Or just don't fucking do it. I can't, like, it pisses me off so much.
When I saw Lord, and it was like Baby Lord, like first album, she was like, I don't do encores, so don't expect one.
Yeah.
And basically just played through, like added those 3 songs to her set. When she was finished, it was finished. Like,
I've had a few bands that I've seen that have done that. And I respect that so much more.
Yeah.
Like, it's an old thing. Like, I guess it's nice to go backstage and hear the crowd cheer for you.
Yeah, but it should not be an expectation. It should be like a genuine, we want you to come back.
Not because you've withheld the like 2 or 3 songs that everyone is there for anyway.
Yeah,
like,
holding them hostage.
It's like, I've just driven 3 hours to be here on a work night. I've got to drive 3 hours home. Stop fucking with me. Like, it's a very specific situation for me, but I'm sure many other people do the stupid shit that
I've seen people talking about it online.
They didn't do an encore, which is great. My standouts were Testify, and then obviously Guerrilla Radio, just for the fact that it was something that I didn't know that I knew until it came on. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then I enjoyed like the stuff that I knew, like Killing the Name, Bulls on Parade, and No Shelter, just like lyrically. And then also that cover of Kick Out the Jams. Was really cool. Not something that I could see going in if I'm sitting around, but to have on the background.
Yeah.
And it was something that sort of made me think that I should probably dabble in their recorded stuff and kind of see how that is, especially when I jumped in and I felt that distortion and really enjoyed that. Because there are so many bands like this that I know one or two songs and I enjoy those songs, but I just like don't go and listen to anything else.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what this is for.
It's
forcing
also
me to do that.
Like something that occurred to me while listening through it is like it's essentially a compilation.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like there's more waiting for me with Ice Nine Kills. Like, it's curated by them to be a show that everybody who's ever listened to them, who wants to pay money to come and see them live, is going to get something out of. And like you were saying, like a lot of the similarities between the songs in this set is because those ones are the most accessible songs.
Yeah.
So I also feel like doing a bit of a dive into their catalogue, you'll get some more variation, some things to keep you
And I'm
a bit more engaged rather than it being so samey across.
Yeah, and my thought that I actually haven't mentioned is the whole time while I was listening to this, I was thinking that I would enjoy it more if I knew the original versions of these songs. Because it's just like them bringing a different energy to what they've already done.
Yeah.
But I don't have that knowledge, except for the songs that I did have that knowledge for.
Yeah.
And then I was able to enjoy that. So
That's so funny because the complete opposite for me was like, used to smash it on repeat. And then I was like, maybe I should go and listen to the other songs. And then some of them were like, oh, it just doesn't feel right because you can't hear the roar of the crowd. And yeah, and it comes down to as well, like some of that imperfection.
Yeah.
And the stuff like when he gets out of breath, the delivery of some of his lines in the live performance, where on the studio recording, it's much more held back. Like he's screaming some things on there that he whispers on the album.
Yeah.
Is it Freedom? I think it's Freedom. He goes, your anger is a gift.
That's Freedom, yes. Yeah. I know that because I had to run that back a couple of times because I'd zoned out.
Literally on the studio recording, barely audible. He goes, your anger is a gift. So it's a very different vibe, right? If you do go and listen to those studio recordings, there's going to be more of that, what you were hoping for.
Like variety.
Yeah, variety within the song as well. Like, and it doesn't feel like monotone throughout. Nice.
Sick.
Yeah, I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, it was a struggle, as always, to pick stuff, but...
Yeah. Well,
streaking on.
Speaking of struggling to pick things, the theme that we've settled on for next week's episode is debut albums.
Yes. Yeah, I was, again, torn between so many things. I know at least once I've already thrown you debut albums that I love, like Bloom. I know I did. There might have been some others that I've forgotten about.
Yeah.
There was a band that I was thinking about doing for the live performance, and then I didn't take them, and then when we decided on this theme, I was like, all right, this time
I'm going that's with right. You teased this at the start. I remember now.
And it is a band that I know that you're not overly familiar with, that you have admitted to, much to the disgust of maybe people listening. Your album for next week is Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
Okay.
And when we say debut album, we're not counting EPs or like little demos and stuff before that, because I know Linkin Park technically have there, and it's awesome, but it's this little thing before they had Chester in the band, this little demo that Mike did that's got 6 songs on, and it's only available on YouTube. Like this is their studio debut album.
I have a feeling that I'm going to know more songs off this album than I think I do.
I had a bit of a look at it. There are a few on there that I think you'll definitely recognize, but there are some tracks on here that just don't see that much light in like radio play.
Sure.
Like video games, movies, music, all the places where Linkin Park is kind of sprinkled throughout culture. A lot of these I just don't think will have come across your radar as someone who hasn't actively sought them. But then there will also be the inverse. Like, spoiler, In the End is on this album,
Yeah.
which is like their biggest song ever.
I don't think that was a spoiler. I think I
Yeah.
was expecting that. My pick for you is an album that I have been wanting to show you, but it hasn't fit the theme. And that's kind of why I pushed so hard for this to be the theme of this week, because I was like, I just want to get it out of the way. I need for you to hear it, and I need to know what you think. I do think that you'll really enjoy this. And originally I was going to do their second album, but now that I know a bit more about your listening habits and how you approach music, to introduce you on the second album is going to put you off a little bit, because there's some quite long songs on there. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Hearing the first album first, which is also, by the way, is, in my opinion, a perfect album. This is a fantastic album. It will set you up to appreciate the second album more, if that's what you so choose to do. So, now that I've finished gassing it up, the album that I have for you this week is Themata by Carnival.
I heard Themata and I was like, I've heard that name before. We've kind of just picked each other albums for the same reason. We've both kind of gone, yeah, I know a little bit of that, but not as much as I maybe should.
Yeah.
Carnival's in that category for me. I know a couple songs. Every time I am listening to them just by virtue of them happening to pop up, I'm like, this is good, and then I don't investigate further.
Yeah.
I can confidently say that I know one Carnival song. I don't know what the name of it is. When it comes on, I know it.
Yeah.
There will probably be more than that I will recognize, but this is, if I was wearing the t-shirt, I wouldn't be comfortable.
I think I can confidently say that the song that you know is Roquefort, because that's the one that most people would know.
I don't think that's it.
Roqueufort.
And I might know that one, but I don't think it's the one I'm thinking of.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
So this is all about.
Yeah.
I'm going to spoil everything now.
I kind of do. I'm so desperate to talk about it. I can't wait till next week. Plus, I get an excuse to listen to it again.
And I'm stoked that I get to listen to Linkin Park again. So, like, very selfish.
Yeah, and it's like I haven't been playing it all week anyway in my spare time. It's been really good getting comments on the videos. I'm really appreciating that we have people who are engaging with it in a meaningful way, and that's what it's all about for us.
The purpose of this is for us to discover new music, but also put, this week's a bad example, it's Linkin Park and Carnival, but for us to put artists that we love that may not necessarily get as much attention into the open.
Yeah.
And sort of just put that out there.
And explore things that we might not have thought of, and it just makes learning about new music easier. We really appreciate the engagement, and it's just nice to know that people are getting something out of it.
I am.
I knew that. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
See you for the debuts next week.
See you for the debuts. Peace.